Hello, everybody. Indeed, welcome to another episode of Durham Unplugged. I'm your host, Sterling Lee, and today we have an incredibly special guest. So I've been saying special guest over and over, but in this case, we went to the top of Ajax. We have Mayor Shaun Collier with us today. Shaun, how are you doing?
I'm great, Sterling. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. How have you been doing? This is when you ran for mayor, I guess like a year and a half ago. Did you imagine this was what your tenure was going to be like?
It's funny. I actually had an email from Steve Parrish a couple of weeks ago when we had to close the parking lots and stuff, and he actually said he goes my retirement was timely, and I don't envy you
Yeah,
in having to deal with this. So yeah, this is not something I think any of us ever contemplated, but we're doing the best we can.
we are. And how's so do you find it's busier even though you're not at the office, or is it like because you're getting more frantic phone calls? Do you find it's more busy in that sense or less busy?
Well, it's less busy as far as, we're not cutting a lot of ribbons these days. We're not
Sure.
going to any open houses or a lot of these community events or the galas or all these different things that we would generally be going to. But as far as meetings, I mean, I'm still making sure my schedule is published each Monday so people can see that we are still busy. And I just finished one meeting, literally 5 minutes. I had enough time to go get a coffee and come sit down for this. So it's pretty full, which is good. That's the way I like it. And I think we're finding actually there are some positives coming out of this in such that we can be very productive. We don't
Right.
have to travel as much. I mean, the oil crashing yesterday, oil futures clearly
Couldn't give it away, right? They couldn't give oil away.
they couldn't give it away. And we're able to see that we're able to still be productive and save money
Yeah.
for our municipalities. We're not having to travel. We're not going to, for instance, this summer, we're not going to AMO, we're not going to FCM, not going to Great Lakes St. Lawrence Cities Initiative. What else I had? A couple of
Wait, sorry, are we not going to AMO? Because I had checked with our coordinator and AMO was saying that it's still a go.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Okay.
I
We'll edit this in post-production.
Just my strictly my own personal opinion is no.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you.
Happening. It's in August, and I think we will. I actually had a resident reach out to me today asking what my opinion was. How long do I think this is going to last? Because they've got their daughter's wedding at the end of August.
Okay.
Said, if I had to bet on it, I would bet that we would still be having some pretty strong restrictions in our gatherings.
Agreed.
I see them lightening up on a few things. Like I can tell you right now, for instance, the community garden, that I've written that letter in support of our community gardens. Well, I heard today, and this is, nobody knows this, Rod Phillips, our MPP, has actually taken that to cabinet today. And that change will, I understand, be made, and community gardens will be allowed to proceed. I also see them lifting things like golf courses and tennis, things like this. I mean, probably not doubles, but singles tennis, one person on each side. I understand the province had to cast a really broad net in the beginning, kind of like us closing all the parking lots. I mean, we kept taking more progressive measures as needed rather than just starting there. Well, the province in the declaration of emergency kind of had to start there. And so now I can see them seeing certain things like cottages, for instance. There's a lot of talk about cottages. I can't see them not letting people go to their cottages all summer.
Right.
People are just going to do it. They're doing it now. I'm hearing about the OPP up on the cottage roads right now stopping people. Not me. I'm here.
Sure.
Despite what people keep saying on social media.
Right.
Global interviews and how many things like this I have to do. But anyway, I think they will be lifting more restrictions as we go forward because they'll realize that, I said last night at council, we're building the plane as we fly.
Yeah.
Right? And that's exactly what's happening.
And has your home life, like how does Rose feel having you home more?
I don't know. How do you feel, Rose?
That was a loaded question.
Well, we're still happily married, I think.
Good. So that's progress. That's good.
Yeah, and we've been spending all day, every day together. I mean, I do the shopping, so I go out and I'm going to go out after this and do the shopping for my parents. maybe take the dog for a walk. But no, we're spend all our time together. It hasn't been a problem so far.
So to that point, there was a bit of a guest appearance at our council meeting last night. You have a new dog.
Where is she? Come here. This is Rona.
Named after Rona Ambrose, MP of Western MP.
Yeah, if you're watching the YouTube video and you look at about 1 minute and come here. Oh, she's shy. If you look at about there she is.
Aww.
If you look at about 1 minute 5, say hi. You'll see her jump up and give my ear a lick at last night's council meeting. So that's not something that was staged or planned.
And we're talking about the dog, not your wife, for the record.
It was the dog, yes. So she's a new addition. She's 11 months now, and fitting in with the family quite well. And
have you always been a dog owner, or?
Well, I've always had Dobermans before. I've had 3 Dobermans.
Okay.
And but I've always really liked the German Shepherds, and I didn't want a little puppy because they're a lot of work.
Right.
So, and I also didn't want a full 2-3-year-old dog. So she was right around a year. It's worked out really well. She came from a farm, so she'd actually never been in a house before, never been on a leash before.
Okay.
And she's really smart. Heals very well when we're out walking. She's, no accidents in the house, which is great.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think we will now. We've had her for 2 weeks.
Right.
So, yeah, no, she's a good girl. Good girl. A little bit of an odd eater, though. Every other dog I've ever had has been a complete food hound and, will eat anything and loves both. Well, she's very
picky,
very, very chill. Very, very mellow. Yep.
And what made you want to get a dog, like because you got her, what, you said 2 weeks ago. So it was like in the height of this pandemic. What made you get a dog then?
Well, if you asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said, we've been pet free for years because we travel, we go to college, we're busy, we're it just hasn't been really suitable. But part of being, I don't know, it just being in and having things to do and wanting to get out and be active, and it just was something I wanted. So we found her and it's worked out.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know if Rose is where I am yet.
Was Rose not a dog person like you were, or no?
No. Actually, when I met Rose, she had 2 cats. And
I was the same way. Like, I'm very much a cat person. I had a cat and my wife had a cat, but we never I was never a dog person until I met my wife, because I think she had a dog back in Kingston, and then eventually I got comfortable with dogs. But yeah, I would never think to get a dog because there's so much work.
Not only so much work, we had a very clean house and, no hair on the floors and, very, very low maintenance. The kids aren't even here that much anymore. My youngest is 18, so they're out doing their own thing most of the time. And now it's like having a toddler again. So we're going to have, to do a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more work.
Maybe this is what we're getting into.
Idea, but it's not the most practical idea, but she's a great addition.
No, this is what we want to hear now. So are you generally a very clean person? Like, do you like it tidy?
I think so, yes.
Right.
Well,
okay.
If I can show you around, yeah, everything is, we don't have clutter.
Right.
You don't see much, we've got some wedding photos and things around, but you don't see a lot of, there's no knickknacks in my house generally.
Now, is that because you were a military man and that came from like patterns in the military, or as a child, were you always a clean child?
No, it's kind of both. I like things, yes, I am very orderly and structured, as I don't think anybody will say that's not true, but Rose is very as well. So it's funny when, when we got married and, I would notice all of a sudden something missing. And, I would have something that maybe I liked, but maybe she didn't. And all of a sudden it wouldn't be there anymore. And
no, she was playing games. She was playing games with you early on.
Or it went so. So especially at the cottage, up at the cottage, I had a lot of, because when I bought the place, the old owners basically took their toothbrushes and left. I mean, it was fully furnished, fully everything. So it was a lot of cottagey stuff, a lot of loons, a lot of, that kind of stuff. And when we did the major renovation 3 years ago, a lot of the stuff that got taken down just disappeared. So it's funny, we have this really odd duck cutting board, and it's like a flat cutting board with this
In the
duck
shape
head
of a duck,
comes
right?
out of the
Oh, the
top.
duck head is like 3-dimensional.
Oh yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah. It's flat, and I'll find it. I know exactly where it is because what we do is anyway, Rose hated it, so
I hate it on principle. Like, how would you
I
put something
kept
like
it,
that away?
yeah. And so what we do each year, we do this game at Christmas where everybody buys like a $15 thing, and you
Sure.
wrap it up, and everybody puts them in the middle, and then you draw numbers. That there's 10 people, 1 through 10. So the number one person goes and picks their gift out of the middle and
And then you
opens
can
it.
swap it, I assume,
And
or
then the
steal
next
it.
person can either steal yours,
Right.
in which case you can pick out of the middle, or steal somebody else's, depending how far. So every year, this duck cutting board appears under in this game because I save it and I buy my present, but then I also wrap up this fake one or a couple of fake ones and put them in
Sure.
as jokes. So this duck keeps reappearing, much to Rose's dismay.
Have you named it at this point? You must give it a name.
No, actually,
Just the
no.
duck cutting board?
It's the ugly duck cutting board, yeah.
The ugly duck cutting board. Like, how would you put it away though? Like, if it pops out, it wouldn't fit in any cupboards or
It's
anything,
a
presumably.
shoebox. It's up in my closet. I shouldn't say that
Yeah,
because Rose
that's
will find it and disappear it on me, but it's up in our walk-in closet, up on the shelf in a shoebox.
Now, is the inverse true then? Is there anything of hers that you've hated that you've since misplaced or broken?
Yes.
Oh, wow. We're getting the scoop, folks.
I'm trying to think of what. There was something recently. She's here. I can ask her, but I'll think of it.
Sure, yeah. I think we'll get back to that.
It'll come to me. Yeah, there was something recently that I disappeared.
So, what has your COVID routine been like? Do you get up in the morning, you do exercise, you eat breakfast? What is the routine like?
Well, I still wake up. Like this morning, I woke up about 6:30, and I've never set the clock. I just wake up, and
Right.
generally, whoever gets up first goes and makes coffee, comes back up, put the news on. I watch the news every day, and then around 7:30ish, 8, we're up, get on with our day. Rose is working very hard to plan the event for Saturday.
Mayor's Gala?
Yeah, well, in lieu of the Mayor's Gala.
The virtual Mayor's Gala?
So she's down in the office working on that, and then I get started on my stuff. I mean,
Right.
I think yesterday my first meeting was, that was last week. I had a couple of meetings that started at 8 o'clock in the morning, different Board of Trade events and another Durham Economic Development thing that I was, even though I'm not there at the podium, I still can bring greetings on behalf of the town and do things electronically. So yeah, it's just back,
So that's not, so you skip breakfast then, apparently. You're a cook.
I rarely ever eat breakfast. Often I forget about lunch too. I generally.
You're one meal, maybe two meals.
One meal a day kind of guy for the most part. Yeah.
So when you come home then, do you cook, or like when you're home, do you cook the meals? Does Rose cook the meals? Who cooks dinner?
I don't know. It's kind of 50-50. I'm a pretty good cook. So, I mean, I cook a lot of different stuff. Tonight I'm making cashew chicken.
Okay.
But yeah, I like to cook different stuff. Like I make a pretty good Mediterranean, Moroccan chicken. Sorry, is one of my specialties. And I like to cook a lot of Thai. I like to cook Indian food. Love Indian food. I like spice. I lived in Korea for 3 years, so I love all that stuff. And so we try lots of different things. I find Canadian food kind of boring actually, so we do a lot of different things.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't cook at all. I'm very much a zero cooker.
We don't really have much prepared, that's for sure.
Right. So I think generally Amanda does all the cooking in our house, but I will then supplement by doing all the cleaning and all the dishes afterwards. Like I enjoy doing dishes, I enjoy cleaning up, but I don't enjoy cooking. And it's a very stressful experience for me because I guess because it's not in my bones. So I'm always stressed about timing and temperature and then burning things. So yeah, I don't really cook often. So.
Well, it's gone to it's probably much more of a 70-30 mix now as far as Rose making, because a lot of our stuff is in the evenings.
Right.
Not now, but generally most of our stuff is in the evenings. So having her pick up that slack it's been great, because then I can focus on what I need to do. And, when I get home, whatever time I get home, there's always something good.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what do you think has been the most surprising experience in the year and a half? What, like as mayor, which is a crazy, like you probably didn't grow up in Ajax thinking to yourself, I'm going to be mayor of Ajax? Or maybe you did. I don't know if that was a goal of yours, right? Like I don't think it was. So, you've been mayor for a year and a half. What's struck you about this job that you didn't expect?
Well, I think just to kind of answer the first question, if we ever have an Ajax High School reunion and I'm still the mayor, I think people are going to look at each other and go, what the heck happened there? Because if we had to take a poll back when I was 18 of the least likely, it would probably be me.
Right.
It was a completely different, this was pre-military and pre-everything else, but a completely different kind of thing. What has been the biggest thing? Well, this COVID is quite big.
Sure, right.
We've had a lot of successes already, though. Like as a council, I mean, winning that economic development award, the influencer award, was huge. Like that was huge to be recognized at a provincial level for something that we've done as a local municipality, and it's the first time ever in municipal councils been recognized.
Right. That's super cool. Yeah.
That to me is a huge win, and that really kind of justifies a lot of the hard work we've been doing.
Cool.
We're still, even today, just before this meeting, I had an hour and a half meeting with our planning staff, still trying to figure out how we can get this servicing in our downtown core and what we need to do at the region to get those allocations of employment targets and residential targets so we get more funding allocated so we can deal with some of these issues.
Well, you brought up a really fun point earlier. You said in high school, no one would imagine you to be a mayor. So what were you like in high school? Were you a good kid, a bad kid?
I was in high school. I'm still an 80s guy. My whole playlist is all 80s.
Right.
Stuff, Def Leppard, Journey, all that stuff. And yeah, no, I was, I wasn't interested in school. I was more interested in partying and having fun. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't the top student, that's for sure.
Right.
That happened later.
Now, you mentioned a few bands. What do you think is your favorite live performance that you've ever seen?
That I've ever seen? Ozzy Osbourne.
Was he part of Sabbath or just Ozzy on his own?
This was about 8 years ago at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto. And he went on. And who opened? Rob Halford from Judas Priest opened.
Okay.
Just goes by Halford, but opened for Ozzy, and he did a solid 3 hours, and just was like, he can't talk in real life, but he just killed it. It was amazing. He played all Ozzy, a lot of Sabbath stuff, and he kept turning on this fire hose and just hosing down. And thankfully, I was far enough back
outside of the splash zone.
That would annoyed me, but. He just went, and he kept getting on and going, they want me to get off the stage, but as long as you guys keep going crazy, I'm going to stay. And he stayed on for 3 solid hours. So, yeah.
Did he not take a bite ahead of a bat at that concert?
No.
Because I hear that he may be responsible for COVID. I don't want to spread rumor.
That was back in the 80s, I think. Yeah, when he did that.
Okay, so Ozzy's the best show you've ever seen. I think you said your favorite band is Journey.
Yes.
Of the 3 Journey lead singers, which one is your favorite? I assume Steve Perry.
Steve Perry for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen Journey four times now, and the last time I saw Journey, Arnel Pinata was acting like kind of a spoiled brat. I mean, it was at the Rock the Park event in London, which I would love to put on something like that here.
London, Ontario, or London, England? Sorry,
London, Ontario.
Okay.
And they do this Rock the Park event, which was always a Thursday, Friday, Saturday event. And they would have, if you went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you would see around 12 to 15 bands. They had 4 to 5 each night. And I've seen some big ones there. I can't name them all, but just some really big ones. And it was pouring rain at midnight, and people are leaving, and they're not playing the old hits. They're playing their new album.
Of course.
I don't know about you, but nobody goes to see an 80s band to listen to their new release, right? You want to hear all the hits. So everybody's leaving, and he's yelling at people going, get back here, we're not done. Anyway. But no, Steve Perry definitely is by far the best.
Now, at a concert, are you sitting in your seat or are you standing the whole time?
I prefer to sit.
Thank you.
I do not like the people.
I'm too old for this.
And if you want to stand up and dance, go over there in the aisle.
Yes, thank you.
See, but Rose is completely different, and that's why probably we don't go to as many concerts anymore, because she likes all the new stuff, so she wants to go see Pink and that
That'd be
type
pretty
of.
good.
I'm not going anywhere near that place.
Fair
So
enough.
I think one of the last concerts I went and saw was Neil Diamond.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome. That was one of the better ones too.
Does he open or
But
close with Sweet Caroline?
uh,
Or is that in the middle?
I don't remember. The other things around the middle.
Okay.
Yeah. It was bang on, bang on. That's you go see some and they sound exactly like they did.
Yeah.
And then you go see some and they're terrible. Like the worst I think I probably ever saw was a few years ago at Casino Rama, and it was oh shoot, I can't remember the guy's name. Sings the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Um,
Come on, trivia guy.
yeah, Edmund Fitzgerald.
The Canadian singer.
Yes. Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot. Terrible. Terrible.
Well, why would you go to, why, do you like other?
Like it. You could recognize the tune, but you couldn't recognize a single word he was saying, or it was terrible.
But why would you go to a Gordon Lightfoot concert?
Well, I don't know. It's you don't probably the last chance you ever get to see him.
Right. So we were doing that, right? Before Finn was born. Amanda and I were on the See Them Before They Die tour. And so we saw like all these bands that like, your Journey's, Heart, Def Leppard. We saw Kiss, which was ridiculous. And so, yeah, so I understand doing that. But I don't know, Gordon Lightfoot, are you?
Kiss was one of the worst ones I've ever seen too.
Kiss it's a spectacle. Like, yeah, you see Paul Stanley go up in the, the rafter, or Gene Simmons go up in the rafters.
That done once. I mean, come on.
But they're also like 80-year-old men, like wearing spandex, which is not like the best to see right now too, right?
It's not good on a good day, but they also played all their new music.
Right.
Right. So terrible.
And it's all the same song now, in my opinion.
And REO Speedwagon played their new music as well.
I don't mind REO. I like REO Speedwagon.
Anyway,
I think that was my favorite concert. Was it was REO, Journey, and Heart at the amphitheater. I think at this point it's probably like 6-7 years ago. But that was just a phenomenal concert, I felt. And I think it was the first time Arnel Pineda had come.
Wasn't it Cheap Trick?
Yes, I'm sorry. It was Cheap Trick, Journey, and Heart.
Journey and Heart.
And then it was opened by the people who did Sister Christian opened as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember because I wanted to go to that and June 25th, I think. And I wanted to go to that and I missed that date. So we actually drove to Michigan and went and saw the same concert in Michigan. And Heart bailed out because we were late getting there. And because that was I can tell you the date. It was the day that the 401 was closed because somebody had thrown a body out of a van.
Okay.
Remember that a few years ago?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you looked that up. That was the date because we got stuck in that traffic, and because we got stuck in that traffic, we were late getting there. And Cheap Trick had already played, and Heart had canceled, and Journey was starting when we got there.
Oh, that sucks.
And I got there, I'm like, how is the Journey starting already? But it's because, and they played an actual on set.
But to be fair, Heart is phenomenal live. She can still hit that note for Alone.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Incredibly impressive. Yeah. So what is do you guys go see movies often? Are you guys what are Rose's interests? Like what are some of the shared interests you guys have? Because like for Amanda and me, it's solely movies. Like she could not be more different aesthetically than I am, have different tastes and everything, but just we both love seeing movies. We're trying to go to TIFF whenever we can. So what are like some of you and Rose's like core like interests that intersect?
We generally tend to like a lot of the same movies, but I'm not patient enough to go sit in a movie theater and sit through 15 to 20 minutes of advertising.
But most of it's trailers. Trailers are the best part.
That bugs me. It's not just trailers. It's the same Scotiabank advertising I see on the TV here.
Yeah.
So generally, we don't go to a lot of movies. The last movie I saw, I went with my daughter to see. I don't remember what it was. It was about a couple months ago. But no, I don't go to a lot of movies in the theater. But we do watch a lot at home, like Netflix and whatever. But more, I think one of our main things we agree on is the cottage.
Right.
Like, we both really like cottage life. That's where we're going to retire at some point in the not that distant future. And that's not any kind of prediction.
Everyone's like, oh.
I'm not making any announcement. I will be very clear. I don't expect I'll be one of these like our past mayor, 23 years. No.
Right.
Maybe 1 or 2 terms if the residents are willing, and then don't see myself, because I want to be retired and still be I guess young enough
To appreciate it and enjoy retirement, right?
to travel a lot. Like we love to travel. That's the other big thing is
Right.
we've been to a lot of places. We had to actually cancel so far 3 trips this year.
Oh,
We
okay.
were
That sucks.
on a cruise on March 28th. We were supposed to be on a cruise, and that was canceled actually before the cruise lines canceled all the cruises. But we were
Right.
supposed to do that. We were supposed to go away in July for the entire month of July on an East Coast trip. So we were going to do, like, one of my
The
first posts
Maritimes.
in the military was Sydney, Nova Scotia, and I haven't been back
Oh,
there since 1989.
right.
Right? So I wanted to go back and do that and spend at least a couple of weeks in Newfoundland. I still have a bunch of buddies from the forces all over that area, Newfoundland, Labrador, everywhere. So we canceled that. And then we also, in September, I think everybody knows I went to the Battle of the River Plate anniversary
Mm-hmm.
in Montevideo, Uruguay in December last year, December 13th last year. But the River Plate Association, Veterans Association, is in England, and they are having their um, anniversary thing in England on October the 2nd, I think. So we were supposed to fly to Italy on September 23rd and kind of spend 4 days in Venice, because we've been to Italy, but we've not been to Venice, and go from Venice we were going to fly to Amsterdam and spend 4 days in Amsterdam, then go from Amsterdam 3 days in Brussels, and then we're going to take the Channel to London, and that would have got us there on the 1st, and then this anniversary thing for the River Plate Veterans Association was the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Oh,
And then
that would have been amazing.
we're going to spend the rest of the time in London. I haven't been to England since my aunt's funeral in 2001. So I was going to see the last few family members I have there.
Right.
And we're going to spend some time and then come back on October the 10th. So that was our big trip of the year.
Have you canceled officially that one yet, or you have not canceled that one yet?
Yeah, actually, I got notification from the airline since they've canceled the flight that they've already apparently refunded. I don't think I've seen the credit on my credit card, but they've refunded the leg from Toronto to Venice. Now I haven't seen the leg from London back to
pretty
Toronto.
important leg though, to be fair, but yeah.
But anyway, it's I haven't started the claim through my credit card on that trip yet. I did reach out to our hotel we're supposed to stay in Venice and ask for a refund, but I booked it through Expedia, but paid for it on my Amex, and they said no, you don't get a refund. I said okay, no problem. I tried. I mean, the credit card companies require you to try.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll go through that.
Oh, what a pain.
It's unfortunate, but again, back to some of the good things. The waters are clear there now. We're seeing a lot of improvement in our oceans. We're seeing a lot of improvement in the atmosphere, as far as they show pictures of China, and they show pictures of India, and you can see like the Himalayas now where you couldn't before, and then they've got like Los Angeles, for instance, right? The air is clearer because people aren't driving anymore, and there's not as much emissions. So that's positive, looking that we can have improvements in our environment by doing nothing.
Well, I'm also like, I've also noticed like this has forced me to obviously adapt to the way you keep in touch with friends. And this is, for me, a more fun way to talk to someone is through video cam as opposed to just calling them up. And I think even after this whole thing ends, friends from university in Waterloo or friends outside of the province or anything, I think I'll just video call them going forward. I have this whole setup now, and it's a more interactive way of talking to people. And, we've had this technology for like over 2 decades now, but it's just funny that it's kind of forced us to adapt, like to your point, to adapt the way we've been doing things. And hopefully we'll start seeing some long-term changes going forward of the way we do our day-to-day tasks, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can actually save the taxpayers some money, honestly, by using technology, embrace technology, cut down on our costs in some areas, and maybe be more efficient.
Yeah. I'll let you go. But first, is there anything you wanted to plug? Specifically something happening on Saturday.
Yeah, we talked quickly about having to cancel the Mayor's Gala.
Right.
Or we talked about that before you went live. We've had to cancel the Mayor's Gala, but recognizing that the need in the community is still there, and it's actually more so in certain areas. So we've chosen a few charities that we feel are really needing some support, and I was able to maintain, through the generosity of our sponsors, was able to maintain a bulk of the sponsorship money that was donated, which is great. And that, by not having the overhead of a gala, which eats up about half, all the money will be able to go to these charities. So we're going to hold an online virtual fundraiser on Saturday, April the 25th at 7 p.m. If you go to it's going to be Facebook Live event, and if you go to the Gala Facebook, which is facebook.com/Ajax Gala, I think it is. It's easy to find anyway. We'll be doing that on there. It starts at 7. It's going to go from 7 till 8, and from 8, I think the ladies in the committee are having a video dance party after, which I will certainly not be a part of, but I'll be a big part of the whole event. We've got a lot of celebrity guests going to be there. I've got the mayors of Whitby and Deputy Mayor Ash Don Mitchell from Whitby and Deputy Mayor Kevin Ash from Pickering, because Dave Ryan is recuperating. And so we broadened it. And the other thing is,
when do we start talking about the celebrities?
Pardon?
When do we start talking about celebrities? Sorry,
there will be some celebrity guests.
Okay, very good.
Pre-recorded messages from and some musical things as well. So
okay.
It'll be quite good.
And it'll be a video type thing, right? So it's just like
and a number of things.
Will you be dressed up for the occasion, presumably?
I'm gonna be dressed like, I don't know, Rose. Am I gonna be dressed up? Business casual.
Okay. And the people who attend, will they need a video camera, or they'll just be watching something?
No, I think we'll all be on Zoom. So our MC, Terry Johnson, myself, the other two mayors, and we'll all be on Zoom. All the performances will be pre-recorded, and it will all be broadcast on Facebook Live. So people will be able to interact through their comments on Facebook Live. We're going to be having a text donation system. So I have all the sponsored dollars already, but by opening it up to the public now, instead of just the 250 people that normally go to a gala, now we can literally have tens of thousands of Durham residents all attend this, and the text $5, $10, whatever. Again, all the money, all the proceeds are going to go to local charities that really need the funds.
But the important question I'm asking, which I think you're answering, is that people attending don't have to dress. We can show up in our pajamas, and no one's going to see us in our pajamas. Is the key question I'm asking.
Naked if you want.
Well, I'd rather not be that, but I mean, who knows? It's a Saturday night.
Whatever you like, whatever floats your boat. You guys, everybody watching this, whatever you like.
Perfect.
No for you.
And finally, how can people reach you? I mean, you're a pretty accessible person, but how do people reach you on social?
Well, my cell phone number is the only number I have, so that's out there.
Okay.
I have my Twitter account, which is
I think it's Mayor_Collier.
Mayor_Collier. Yeah, I have my Facebook page, the Mayor whatever it is, Shaun Collier. It's very easy to find. And
HAUNCOLLIER, and I'll put all the links on the bottom of the video.
Perfect. I should know these, but
I was gonna say I gave you a heads up.
That's what Google is for. I don't know.
This is not, thank you so much for taking time to kind of chat and get to know the lighter side of Shaun, who over the past year and a half I've had the chance to meet. And obviously as mayor you have to have a very dignified presence, and so it's nice to kind of meet the man behind the title, if you will.
Without a tie.
Yeah, exactly. But without a tie is super nice. So thank you so much for doing this. You can find me at Your Voice for Ajax at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like, comment, etc. But thank you so much for attending, and we will see everybody soon. Thanks again, Shaun.
All right. See you, Sterling. Thank you.